That's good.
I want to tell y'all what us girls are doing here today. And I'm so happy that you get to see beautiful Teresa in a dress today and earrings. And, she doesn't like the camera, but it just worked out that we really, 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 really needed her for this filming that we're going to do. Because this lady sitting next to me, she's one of the most beautiful women in Savannah, Georgia.
Aren't you sweet?
I know I'm truthful. I'm really truthful.
Thank you.
She is. She's one of the most beautiful women in Savannah.
Inside and out.
Inside and out. Yes,
you.
Cynthia. And she's got a story that I would like you folks out there to hear. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but in the early 2000s, I got an invitation from Oprah to appear on her show.
How exciting.
It was so exciting.
That's exciting.
She was doing a show on women who had started businesses in their home.
Okay.
There was 5 of us. Only 3 were going to be on stage. And they called me right before, I was to leave. And she said, "You're one of the 3 that's going to be on stage."
How exciting.
So it was just the biggest honor. And Cecilia Russo reminds me of my story. A helping hand.
I am honored.
Helping hand. How you take your blessings and
Absolutely.
pay them forward. And Cecilia is working on that right now. So how about you? Teresa has known Celia probably all their lives.
For a long, long time.
Long time. And I've only been here 35 years.
Well, I've known you just as long. So just as long as your time here.
So
I always love to get an opportunity to spend time with Cecilia.
oh, I know.
Thank you very
I know.
much. I appreciate that.
I know. So I would like for Celia to tell her story, share her story with you. And because I've always said, men, women, if you want something badly enough and you're willing to work for it, really work, you can make dreams come true. And she is one of those examples, and she is one of those mentors that we can look and watch and learn things from you.
Thank you.
So go, girl.
Thank you. Well, that's where it started. So 15 years ago, I was doing PR for different, I worked for other people all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mainly schools.
Yes,
right?
some schools and higher education, and did PR and some fundraising, which I think is why I still have a part of me all the time that goes back to philanthropy and community, because when you start like that, it's so important. But anyway, so when I had a very wonderful phone call from a dear friend of mine that said, "I need you to help me. I cannot be in Savannah during this time," and the tour to Georgia was coming. So I worked with the lieutenant governor in the state and helped with the PR and all of that around this wonderful Peloton cycling race. And I remember at that point starting my business, going to, I hadn't done anything. So Secretary of State, and I said to Mama and Daddy, okay, this is what my car cost. This is what my mortgage cost. And I'm going to give it a shot. And they're like, oh, Lord. I was still living at home at the time.
This was
Right
your first
before
check.
that,
This is your first check that you
my
got
first check,
from.
and I just
How much
moved
was
out.
this from that phone call from that friend?
It is,
right?
yes. And I had
Asking
just
if you
moved
would
out
sub
and
for her.
lived right around the corner. Mom was like, well, we still have your room. I was like, no, this is what my mortgage is, and on and on. And I thought, I can do this. And she said,
How much was it, Cecilia?
$5,000. She said, it's going to be $5,000. And I said, oh, gosh. She said, we just need you to work. I had to work like 4 to 6 weeks to get it done. And it was a lot of work, but it was one of those things that you knew if you want it badly enough, you can make that
exactly
money
right.
last
That's
and
exactly
go.
right.
So I put my head down and did it. And I was lucky enough to have mentors in my life. So I never had to look for a job. I always had somebody saying, Cecilia, why don't you go here? And Cecilia, why don't you go here? And on and on. And of Cliff McCurry is a dear, dear mentor of mine. He always just kind of watched me and said, this is where I think you should, talk to somebody next. So anyway, I was lucky enough for that. And so I said to this friend of mine, yep, let's do it.
So you quit your job
I quit
to
my
do
job
this
and I
in order to do this
yeah.
little 4 to 5 week gig. Oh, wow.
And I thought, well,
You're brave.
right. So
Yes,
I,
but that's what it takes.
well, bravery and maybe a little stupidity, but a lot of faith and a lot of prayers.
That's
and I just thought, but I grew up, Daddy had a small business and I knew what it took, that you can't just,
Let me explain to everybody who Cecilia Russo is. Her family has been here in Savannah how many years? How far back?
3 generations.
3
4.
generations. And her family is in the seafood business. And their reputation is so good. So good. If you want good seafood, go down to Russo's at the railroad track.
That's
and see
right.
Mr. Charlie.
That's
Yeah,
right. He's
see
still
Mr.
there.
Charlie.
Right. Going to be 81 years old and still works every day. Every day he's there. But
And so neat. Those 2 brothers are neat. But so they are a highly, highly respected family. Old family here in Savannah.
Thanks.
So that's her roots. Okay.
Thank you. So I had grown up like that and knew that. And so I did it. And from that, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, that relationships are what that connectivity and that relationship is what does everything. That's how you meet and greet people in Savannah. But those true lasting relationships are what's most important. It's not just saying hi to somebody on the street or move. It's really building that connectivity and staying close to those people. So as I did the tour to Georgia and met all of these business leaders in Savannah, one by one, they started getting in touch with me. Like, can you help us do this function? Or can you help us do PR here? Or can you write this press release? And so it took off from there. And I have been very fortunate to keep going after 15 years. So that's really that $5,000 check, that one $5,000 launched my entire career to now I am 15 years later and loving every second.
How much did you have to start with?
Me, I had a big $200.
$200. See, that's.
But I had a burning pit in my stomach. I had 2 sons, and I never wanted them to have to feel the things that I had felt in my life. And so, like I said, it's, I'm no smarter than the next one. Never. But I had staying power. If you could stand up there at my stove and work 12 hours, then I could stand up and work 14 hours.
Right.
It's just what you do when you got that burning pit in your stomach. And I bet you that $5,000 check that they gave you, by the time you worked your time out, you probably made $2 an hour.
Oh, I bet. And that's what Mom and Daddy said to me, do what you have to do. And I said, I am. I'm just going to keep on going.
That's right.
It, by the grace of God, again, someone else said, hey, do this. And then it was another client, another client. And I just steadily built it from there and then built a team. With Cynthia, so I started and she was an intern. She was in college and she was a PR intern. And
So how did you meet her?
I took my chance
At a party.
on her.
At a party. Yay!
True Savannah.
I was going to say, that's what we do in Savannah.
It was a work party, but
It was a work party, and once we started talking, I said, what do you want? And she said, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm graduating from. And I said, oh my gosh! And I've always believed to hire someone smarter and more organized.
Absolutely.
Than you, all the time. And she was younger and smarter and much more organized than I.
She gives me a lot of credit.
So no, still to this day. So after meeting at a party and finding out that Cynthia was in school and wanted to intern, we did I think it was a 300-hour internship
program.
And then she said,
Now,
"Okay, well, I'm going to go on my own."
Did you pay her?
I do pay my intern.
Yes.
Yes.
And now, was this for school? Did you need an internship?
Yep,
Okay.
so I waited till the very end of my program so I could devote all of my time and energy into my internship. And it was the best opportunity. I got to write and take photos and to interview, and I enjoyed every moment of it. So.
My
you have to pay your
internships are not-
dues. You have
Yes,
to pay
yes.
your dues.
Yes.
My internships are not pick up dry cleaning and get coffee.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Right.
mine are write and optimize and pitch
Uh-huh.
stories and take photographs. And I want someone
You're
to
part of the
understand
team.
that if they're interning, they need to know you either love it
You
or
don't.
you
Uh-huh.
don't. And
Uh-huh.
it's and we're agency work, so same thing. Like Paula was saying from her kitchen table. I mean, we had kitchen tables and dining room tables. I didn't need bricks and mortar. You know, we needed stick to itiveness.
Yes.
We needed a computer and a telephone, and we
And I loved it.
yes, and it was great. Right, it was great. So then she graduated, and I offered her first full-time job, and it's history.
And how long
yeah.
has that been, Cynthia?
December will be my 10-year anniversary.
So how
Oh,
funny.
my
Yours
goodness.
is 10 years with her, and mine will be 20 years in November.
Oh, really? Oh,
hey,
I love the synergy.
we
Isn't
should
that
have a
crazy?
party. Teresa.
I
That's
know.
great. Yes.
20 years.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
So 10 years, I didn't mean, but that was just funny that we were all at like milestones,
Uh-huh.
the 15,
Right.
10,
Yes.
20
Yeah.
steps.
So, you know, you just kind of keep building, and I've been lucky enough to have Cynthia by my side all the time, and then build a team.
And you're grooming her so that when you're said and done,
I'm ready. So, yeah. So it was, gosh, probably three years ago or so. Each year when we're talking, we, you know, talk about what our goals are and what you want out of life and on and on. And Cynthia, want to start a family. She just started a family. So Emerson is.
He's 3.5 now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Almost
my
four.
little boy.
goodness.
And so I said, tell me, you know, you want to be a mama? I'm not a mama.
You're
now
an
I'm a
aunt.
mama.
She's
now
a
I'm
CC.
Now I'm a CC. I'm a mama now, but you know, that's a longer story for another.
We don't have time for that.
Right. But I so we just sat down and talked about goals, and she wants what you confided in me, and
Yeah,
what we
we
really
did.
put together as a goal opportunity was Cynthia had grown up in an entrepreneur family as well. Her daddy has a business in security systems, and so she said, "That's what I want, and how can I do that?" And I said, "You can do it. Do you want?" And she said, "Well, I don't know what you know. Don't leave." And I said, "I'm not going anywhere, but if you want what I've got, what I'm doing, and what we're doing together, let's do it together." And you learn. And she's very, you know, she had PR, all of that. She's very, very good at all of that. But one of the things that she wanted to look into too was our consulting for nonprofits and philanthropy and on, where you know enough about that for community. You know you have to give back to the community of
Right.
which you're working.
Right.
So when you say nonprofit, so are you actually like working with companies to really maximize their opportunity in the nonprofit world so that they're
we
really
do both.
That's awesome.
So when I started, it was just and again it wasn't intentional, but it's what you attract.
I remember this.
I worked with a lot of small business, women-owned businesses. And as we grew as a team and we grew as a company, we had larger businesses, we have corporate businesses, large firms, things like that. So having Cynthia as part of like my right-hand gal all the time, it just kept developing. And she was the gatekeeper. So I was the creative and boots on the ground. And then she was, you know, she kind of handled everything. So 3 years ago became managing partner and knew that this was something that would be able to, you know, that she would be able to go forward with. So that entrepreneurship part of her, that entrepreneurism, really, when we were all just sitting around thinking, hey, it's the 15th, how are we going to do it? It was just an obvious fit. We want to help that next entrepreneur.
So you're celebrating 15 years this year.
15 years.
Yes.
We started in 2008. And
And you have a way to celebrate that. This is a big thing for
Yes,
you, which
it's
is
a
one of the
big-
reasons we wanted to have you on.
It's
also.
a big
Yes,
thing. It's
yes.
a big thing.
We're
so,
really excited.
yeah.
Oh,
So tell us
we are
about
too.
that.
It's
So,
exciting. Yes.
Yeah, I think it might be time to tell our friends out there why you're really here.
Okay.
Instead of our chitty chat.
Besides,
Sorry,
just
sorry.
having a
Enjoy
little
that
hen
visit.
party.
Yes. No,
I
that's
don't get to have many hen parties, so I'm loving this. But you are offering
grants.
Yes, you're offering grants to people in the state of Georgia, only in the state of Georgia. You're paying it back to your home
Right.
state.
Right.
And men or women, and the requirement is that you must be an entrepreneur that's been in business, that started a business and has been staying alive for 1 year.
Yes. Well, yes. I
In
think
that-
the legal jargon.
It can't
is-
just be like,
it's
it doesn't
different.
have to be a person like me coming to you and saying, I have no idea what I want to do.
Right.
And
No,
I'd like to get $5,000.
It is for
I could be in
someone
that for
who
a year.
started business. Yes,
Uh-huh.
12 to 18
And
months.
now they realize they need money.
Right. Starting, yes,
They need it.
starting a budding entrepreneur, someone who is beginning their business, and that this $5,000 will really help them.
And you're
It
not doing
helped-
just one.
It helped me. No, we are in homage to our 15th. We're giving 3 $5,000 grants, and
That's
it's.
so
I think it's really. I
wonderful.
mean, because we want it, because it's statewide. And again, we had a nod.
So all our Georgia, anybody from Georgia watching
Uh-huh.
that wants to become an entrepreneur,
Right.
this is, tell them what they need to do.
So,
that
well, one of the
has a
things-
business
Yes,
that they
one of the
started.
things that really impressed me was that, and I'm always going to get this wrong, Georgia's First Commission
You got it.
is what Brian Kemp started years ago in office, just to look at policies and procedures and different
What, for
things
small
like that.
businesses and
For
how small business operate?
Yeah.
Georgia is the #1 state for small businesses in our country.
It's
Which
amazing.
I mean, it makes me so happy. So he saw that we were doing this. He's encouraged this. We have, I think you said what, 200?
216 applicants as of this
So
morning.
that's a lot of things to
wow.
review. We're keeping this open until October 1st.
I was going to
Yes.
say, when is the deadline?
The deadline is October 1st.
And what do they need to do?
Just
Yes, tell them.
Go on the
you
website.
go on the website and you
And
write
what
a
is the
pitch.
website?
What,
CRussoMarketing.com.
yes, nobody can spell Cecilia.
Uh-huh.
So I have to buy all kinds of domains. So
That
just
is the letter C.
Yes.
The letter C,
Mhm.
not
And Russo
like
is
ocean.
RUSSO. C Russo Marketing. CRUSSO.
what do they need to send you? Like if I want to,
They all of the application process is on there, but it's very simple. It's a 1,000-word pitch of why
Tell us
why they want to be an entrepreneur, what this $5,000 is going to do for them, and
And what would be their plans like moving forward
Yeah,
what
once
they're
they
going
have
to
that
what
money?
they could use this for. And my hope would be that when they become successful in 15 years, 30 years, 20 years, whatever that's going to be, that they would take this same part of their heart and pay it forward. And I think it's not only, I don't want it to feel like we're just giving a check and walking away either.
Right.
Because I think, like we talked about, that mentorship is so important. So to say it's not easy, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, but this is what you, and just have somebody to talk to about
Right.
it, because
so you're going to continue a relationship with
Yes,
these individuals and help
I would
them.
like to have,
That's
I
amazing.
would like to offer them some mentorship with that.
And
Well,
let-
PR
let-
is a big deal, and a lot of
Yes.
people don't know how to promote themselves.
No,
And that's the
no.
hardest thing.
Yeah,
Right.
PR is
Right.
crazy.
I didn't know because our first business was called the Bag Lady, and then we went to the Lady when I was at Best Western, and then we went downtown. It became the Lady and Sons,
Mhm.
Right.
and I wanted to promote the Lady and Sons. And when I finally got to a point to be exposed to agents and things like that, they said, "No, you've got to sell your name, not the Lady and Sons, but Paula Deen, the name." And that was hard for me to get in my head.
Right.
Because the Lady and Sons was so much bigger and more
Right.
important than Paula Deen.
Sure.
And see, and God love her. She doesn't even realize, and I'm not as fancy as Paula Deen. So the reason mine is called Cecilia Russo Marketing is I wasn't any smarter to know. I thought, well, it's my name, Cecilia Russo
Well,
Marketing. That's what I'm doing.
easy.
So that's why my name is on there. But it's hard. And that's why a lot of our clients that come to us, whether they're real estate agents or attorneys or architects or in construction, they know how to do their industry. They
Yes.
do their business really, really well. They don't know our business. They don't know how to promote something. They don't know, the goodness of, helping with
Mhm.
media relations, and now it's just such a huge thing with SEO words. And
Oh
all
yeah,
the kind of,
yeah. Social
it's
media has
just- it's
taken this
social
world
media.
to
Oh
a
my
whole
gosh.
different
It
level.
is. It is, and it's
I
a lot.
love it.
It's a lot.
The
And
nerdy
thank
one.
God that
Oh.
she has the
Yeah, we have a team that's very
that team up.
way
Right.
smarter than
It's
either of us.
76 years old. I know how to play solid.
I love that.
So
That's it.
Right.
That is it. If it wasn't
That's
for
good.
Teresa, and if it wasn't for Eddie and Casey and Kenzie and Carl,
I know
I'd probably be sitting in jail somewhere.
The application deadline is October 1st, and we're going to give the awards out in the month of November because that's Entrepreneurship Month.
Oh,
So,
So we're
we don't
taking
have
our
we don't have a
month.
certain day, but we're taking some time, and we're looking at them little by little, starting in September, just so we'll know, So we're not.
That's going to be hard work on y'all's part.
It is. It's a
Yes.
lot. It's a lot, and we're
And-
going to have a system. I mean, it's.
I was going, how many people do y'all two girls have
at any
On
one
your
time? We have.
on your team now? Do you have?
Gosh, probably 10 to 12
I
any.
would say 12 to 13.
Okay, any given time. So I have videographers and photographers and writers and optimizers and
Oh, that's
drone
wonderful.
people. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Good
all
people.
kinds. Yes,
Good people.
yes. So
Good
it is.
people.
It's, but I think
So
that's
important.
what it is, and it's the good people that help you, and that's what you want to. That's why we're here. We're here because there were good people leading me, and I want to be that kind of a leader. And I think that it helps with the community overall.
pitch right now and tell anybody who wants to start a business in Georgia to send their application.
Well,
in.
honey,
Or to
that-
share their story with
Yes.
Right.
The only thing is, Teresa, they're going to have to do it for a year.
no, they
They're
can
going
be
to have to be in business for 1 year.
No,
No.
they can be starting off. They can
Oh,
be
okay.
starting off if
Well-
they've already been in business for a year, or if
They're just not
starting off
limiting
today.
it to somebody that has already been in business
Right.
for a
I'm
year.
not saying
Oh,
it has to be
okay.
somebody. I want somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur and that budding person.
Well, see, that's why I just love talking, because what I heard was that one of the qualifications is you must have been in your business 1 year.
You must have started within the year.
Oh, okay, good. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. If you heard me say you must be in business for 1 year, erase that from your mind. Thank you, Celia. And Cynthia, two smart, beautiful women trying to help pass the torch to other deserving people that may have never gotten a break in their whole life.
Thank you.
So contact C. Russo, marketing.com.
Thank you very much. That's exciting.
And if you come to Savannah and you're staying in a place with a kitchen, go down to the railroad track downtown
Yes.
and go to
That's right.
Russo's and get you a wonderful piece of fresh fish
Or their crab stew.
or their crab
Mm.
stew.
I'm a little hungry now.
I know it. If I was any kind of a hostess, I'd have
No, we should all go to Russo's.
Now you
You're good. Thank you.
So
very
y'all
much.
have a wonderful day. I hope that y'all sitting in on this conversation helps you or fires something in your belly, and know that there's somebody out there willing to give you that hand up.
Yeah. Y'all want to go to the chicken box now?
Thank you.
Yes!
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.